hook or crook, I'm going to win and I'm going to knock him out, you know what I mean? And boy, he'd have to kill me to beat me that night, man. He'd have to murder me, I'm telling you. He'd have to, he'd have to kill me.
As a lion going against the zebra, and I'd have to agree. Showing that he's not afraid, hanging on. Bruno's already tagged with the right hand, and there goes Bruno.
On February 25th, 1989, boxing fans saw a mega boxing fight in which 22-year-old boxing phenomenon Mike Tyson fought with a British boxer named Frank Bruno. That fight became one of the most important sporting events of that year because in that evening, two real monsters came together in the ring. In the blue corner stood an Englishman, Frank Bruno, an unusually powerful fighter who, with his physique, looked more like a bodybuilder than a boxer. With a height of 6'4", the Briton had a 6'10" arm span. The muscular athlete was also a formidable knockout artist. Out of his 32 victories in the ring, 31 times he completed the fight by knockout.
That's a good punch, and that looks to me as though we may not see any more of Chuck Gardner of Minneapolis tonight. One punch.
Mike Tyson in those days was just a machine. By the age of 22, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history by beating Trevor Berbick.
Trevor Berbick and Mike Tyson. Tyson goes to work right away, and he gets Trevor in trouble, and
Then, having taken possession of 3 more championship belts, the Brooklyn fighter became the king of the division. But it was at this moment when the fame that fell on his shoulders do much more damage on him than his rivals. More and more Tyson began to appear in scandalous news, papers. Iron Mike in the blink of an eye changed his image of a hero to the villain, but this made him even more popular. However, despite of the reputation of his opponent, Giant Bruno was not frightening. He was sure that he would be able to break the Iron Mike.
I feel very confident. I've got the power, the timing. The time is right to beat him. It's peak time. I've been in with the guy and I feel confident about going in with the guy. He's just a human being like you. He's a human being. He wears shoes, he wears socks. And as I say, you keep on repeating it, I've been in with him and I know him. And I'm not going to get into that sort of like bang and like, oh, Tyson, this, Iron Mike, this, Iron that. You don't realise that the guy had a car crash. He damaged his hand. He broke up with his wife. All his mind is not on the game. On this fight, his mind not conditioned for this fight. And I was confident before all this happened. And I think this is a peak time to beat a Mike Tyson, Harry. You know, I really do believe so.
Okay, listen.
And so, on a hot evening in 1989, the fight between the two titans finally took place. Despite all the promises of Bruno before the match, the fight could end almost in the first seconds. Tyson literally rushed at an opponent who was not ready for such aggression, and as a result, Englishmen on the floor.
Already tagged with the right hand, and there goes Bruno for the first time in the fight. The first right hand that got him, he was down. He'll have to take the standing 8 count. Hey, all right.
But Frank was not going to give up, so quickly picking himself up, he was able to shake Tyson himself with a left side, which at that time could not be done by anyone.
Very slowly across the ring. He knows he's in with a boot. Tyson gets nailed with a left hook. Tyson looks wobbly as he attacks Bruno. Bruno continues to throw. Tyson was leading, but he was caught by a shot by Frank Bruno. Tyson trying to fight back. And Bruno...
Fortunately for Mike, the sound of bell literally saves him.
A bell ends round number 1, and the crowd loves it. So Bruno went down, but not hurt.
But, already starting from round 2, Bruno began to get tired. For this boxer, it was a common thing, because with such a muscle mass, it is very difficult to conduct long fights. Having sensed this, Iron Mike picked up the pace and took control of the fight. The Englishman had no choice but to clinch.
Better than 5,000 British subjects that are here in the first round. These fights been so fast and so exciting, it's hard to do that. But a special hello to Chris Myram's and to his advantage. But Tyson doesn't get frustrated. He just looks ahead of Mike Tyson. Left hook to the body. Tyson attacks with a left of his own. He catches Bruno with a nice... Right hand catches Bruno. Left hook. Bruno looks ready to go. Now is when he's got to hang on. And he does. He has Bruno right now. Bruno trying to keep him up. And the bell ends round number 2. And your heart's almost with Frank in such magnificent shape. Big, vicious. Tyson, lightning hands. Idea that it's a question of time before Mike catches him. There's some real was in his fight. No stage inside is going to give Tyson both hands free. They continue to fight after the bell. Tyson really has a look of... it looks like Bruno could be hurt a bit.
Watch your head, Mike. Watch your head.
Tyson just really pours in like a madman almost. Frank has got to start throwing that right hand. Bruno is caught by a right hand and a left hook. Bruno comes back and catches Tyson. Right hand cut Bruno right in the forehead, followed up by the left hook. During the style that Bruno is fighting here, Bruno again let quick. Uppercut comes that time. We're in the closing seconds now of round 4. The bell ends round number...
In the 5th round, Iron Mike, apparently tired of the opponent's endless clinches, decides to put an end to the fight by knocking out the opponent. And in the last seconds of the battle, his plan was fulfilled.
This place seats about 8,000 to 9,000 in the hotel. Bruno was caught that time, and Tyson knows it. Tyson trying to attack now to finish him off. Bruno has the wherewithal to hang on. The uppercut comes. Tyson gives him room to come off the ropes. Scores with the uppercut. Lands a big right hand. Bruno's in big trouble now. He's ready to go. He hits him with a right hand. Bruno trying to hang on as best he can. He's still in big trouble. The uppercut catches him. The right hand catches him. He's really being hit now. Blood coming from the nose. His eyes are puffy. Tyson is punishing Frank Bruno right now. Bruno tries to hang on. Probably what he should do is get down to his knee and take an 8 count instead of letting this guy nail him with a flush right hand.
Right, stop that. Let him go, let him go.
This is round 5. Remember, a fighter cannot be saved by the bell as the big right hand lands. Tyson knows he's got him in big trouble. If he doesn't answer it, Richard Steele has moved in and has stopped the fight.
But we must give credit to Frank Bruno, who despite the monstrous damage managed to resist the fight on his feet at the moment when the referee was stopping the fight. After this brutal beating in an interview, Iron Mike expressed his respect for his opponent, but like always by not forgetting to praise himself.
Mike, another one on your belt, another notch. Was this harder than you anticipated?
No, not at all, because I knew that he was going to come up, he was talking, and the way he was talking, I knew he was hyped. He was ready to go. And I knew I was the best fighter in the world. Thank you, Frank. God bless you. And I'm just convinced, you know what I mean? These fellas, I dare them challenge me with their somewhat primitive skills. They're just as good as dead.
After losing to Mike Tyson, Bruno will continue his career and have many more big fights, including the legendary battle with Lennox Lewis, where Frank surprisingly had a decent fight with the future boxing king. On September 2nd, 1995, the Englishman met with Oliver McCall. At that time, the WBC world champion, and defeated him. In that evening, all England rejoiced.
In favor of the winner and new.
Bruno is the champion.
Tyson's fate after meeting with Bruno in 1989 did not work out so well. 12 months later, Iron Mike will suffer a sensational defeat from Buster Douglas, once and for all, breaking the myth of his invincibility.
Buster landing these. Oh, nice uppercut by Buster Douglas. Look at this. He's knocked down for the first time in his career.
Until 1991, he will fought 4 hard fights, especially with Donovan Ruddock. Next, he will go to prison for 4 years on rape charges. Mike Tyson will return from prison as a completely different person. return to the ring after prison happened in 1995 against Peter McNeely, whom Tyson cleans up without any problems.
Mills Lane then stopped that nonsense because they were starting to butt heads.
Tyson with a left hook, a right uppercut, down goes McNeely.
After, the victim of our hero was a fighter named Buster Mathis. Tyson's return from prison only added to his popularity. His fights drew millions of viewers around the world, but for full effect the title was needed, which at that time was owned by Tyson's old friend, Frank Bruno, and the revenge between the two fighters was not long in coming. If before the first fight the boxers were on a relatively friendly wave, then this time everything changed. Bruno no longer hid his negative feelings towards the opponent. Tyson was just as determined.
I'm gonna rock him to sleep. I hope Don King's got room in his lap.
It's interesting that Mr. Bruno's talking very brave and courageous, but we'll see.
Beat myself knocking out Mike Tyson, spectacularly knocking him out. There's no way he just has to come straight at me all the time. Straight at me. He cannot beat me that night. He cannot. I refuse to be beaten. I refuse to be hurt. Hook or crook, I'm going to win and I'm going to knock him out, you know what I mean? I've been away for too long. I've waited about 16 years to get in this position where I am, you know what I mean? And boy, he'll have to kill me to beat me that night, man. He'll have to murder me. I'm telling you. He'll have to, he'll have to kill me.
That was the end. I mean, I just don't see him laughing with me. I'll be in tremendous shape. I'll be in tremendous focus, and I'm going to be throwing punches of bad intentions.
Featured attraction of the evening.
And so, on March 16th, 1996, the fighters finally met in the ring. But, as in the first time and in the second, the muscles against Tyson did not help him.
You had your instructions.
27 pounds heavier, almost 4 inches taller. Huge reach advantage, and here we go, round one.
Iron Mike, already at the very beginning of the battle, brought down all the rage on the opponent who was saved in the clinches.
Tyson down, ducked every one of them.
Every time he comes in, he's going to hold him. He's not going to let Mike do what Mike wants to do on the inside.
A straight right hand.
Their heads off.
With the questionable chin.
Get off that net. Come on. Get off that.
He said he'll try to. He's learned to hold on, which he did with McCall. He is very strong, and he'll also try to tie Tyson up. So
on Mike's side, he's not bobbing and weaving like he has, and it's coming in pretty straight up.
Tyson's people wanted to bob and roll, be less of a target attack from the angles, and he is on.
That's the first one he felt the steam. Well, if they were worried about Tyson's ferocity,
that Bruno doesn't have the foot speed to compete.
Bruno trying anywhere.
Bruno threw a nice right hand around the side of Tyson's ear and then a left hook to the body. Nice effort.
And anytime, here comes Tyson. Tyson with a combination with 20 seconds left in round.
You can't fix a chin that was never great to begin with.
By Tyson, but Bruno comes forward. 7 seconds to go. Mills Lane trying to take control, and Tyson just loading up.
Anytime he gets close to Tyson, he holds on.
We're punching if he's just worried about holding.
He looks like a guy who's just waiting for an avalanche, I guarantee you.
A left hook by Mike Tyson, flush on the face of Frank Bruno. Another left, and a combination by Tyson. Halfway through the second. Less than a minute remaining in round 2.
There was a nice right uppercut by Bruno. Crowd reacting a little too much.
He's not fighting offensively.
Right uppercut down the side of it.
A home run. A home run thrown by Tyson. They just missed.
But it could not go on for so long. In the third round, Tyson runs a powerful combination that shocked Bruno, and the referee rescues the boxer from beating again.
A pinch heavier, but I think he's a little more patient and a little more disciplined.
Expected. He said he's not looking for the Tyson of what Brazilian Mathis. There's a combination uppercut by Tyson. Tyson laying it on, pouring it on. Down goes Bruno into the ropes. And it is over. Mike Tyson is champion.
As a result, after 6 years, Mike Tyson became the world champion for the second time, and the boxing world gets the main character, the villain, in one person. After a while, people began to realize that this performance was probably one of the last performances of Tyson in which he resembled himself of the past. Nevertheless, events in the life of our hero changed him forever, but we'll talk about it somehow another time.
Comes up, another hook and right hand. You'll see him rip the uppercut. There's one angle. Bruno is out, and now it's just a matter of pummeling and finishing the job. The coup de grace.
Bruno buckles.
Part of the problem with Frank Bruno's strategy there was when he came in with one punch possible, not totally, committed. And I mean no offense to any fighter. It is more honorable to get knocked out in 1, 2, or 3 rounds, fighting hard and putting yourself in a position to win.
The new